Hey guys, Nick here at virtualassistantassistant.com with a video review of 24/7 Virtual Assistant. So 24/7 has been in business since like 2008, and they've grown into one of the larger VA companies in the world with operations in Georgia. They're out of Atlanta, and then their offshore centers in India and in the Philippines. So beside from their affordable rates, there are a couple things or a couple points that differentiate them from the competition. First is you're assigned a dedicated point of contact, but you have access to their entire team of professional VAs. So you can tap into different people depending on the skills you need for different tasks. And if you have ongoing repetitive job kind of work, then you can work directly with your dedicated VA. And second, up to 25% of your hours roll over or can roll over to the next month if they go unused. So it's really good for smoothing out the unbalanced workloads that are, a fact of life sometimes, making sure you don't end up with the use it or lose it time like you would with some other VA companies. And finally, 24/7 includes web development and SEO work as part of every package. For those services, they charge or they bill out at 1.5 times their regular, or they deduct hours at 1.5 times the regular rate. But it's still a great value if you need help improving your website like I did, or increasing its exposure. So since starting the virtual assistant site, 24/7 has been one of the most popular companies, hands down. So I wasn't doing a very good job because I hadn't tested them out myself. So I had to sign on and see what all the fuss was about. And it turns out, I'm happy to report they're popular for a good reason. And I was really happy with my trial. So I had them tackle a few different projects, some design work and some web stuff. So one of the things they did was do some formatting on some ebooks, and they turned out really good. So actually, if you want to see an example, download the free first timers guide to hiring a VA in the corner. They reformatted that and redesigned it for me. It was a huge improvement. You can download it yourself. You can unsubscribe anytime, like no hard feelings, but just to see an example of their work. So I also had them do some customization on another WordPress site of mine, and they did a really nice job with that as well. I found that the dedicated team leader setup and then the distributed workforce work really well in my case for these small one-off jobs. So a couple things to keep in mind that were less than glowing. So the communication wasn't hindered by any language barrier, but it was kind of by the time difference. So I had to stay up pretty late on Pacific, U.S. Pacific time to catch my contact in India during the morning hours in India time, and it wasn't a huge issue because I work at home, and it was nice to have them getting stuff done while I was asleep, and that's like the cliche selling point for virtual assistants, get work done while you sleep, but it was kind of cool. Just if there was anything that needed clarification, it would be another 12-hour cycle before we could get online at the same time to hash it out. The other thing I noticed was was 24/7. Their first effort they delivered or they attempted to deliver wasn't always their best effort. And a couple times I had to go back and ask for edits or revisions, and they're quick and professional about it. But I would have loved to see a little more initiative up front in terms of testing, or even just in pride of delivery, like to really take it to the next level and say, hey, this is going to be an awesome delivery for a client. So my account was set up kind of offline, so I'm not really sure what their client interface looks like, but for me it would have been cool to see a time tracker. You just see how many hours you have left during the month, because at the end of each correspondence they'll be like, hey, we did this, it took 4 hours. Hey, we did this, it took an hour and a half. And so you can kind of tally it up, but it would be cool to see kind of a running total of where you're at, how much you have left for the month. So you can see what other stuff can I send them. But overall, team at 24/7 did an awesome job, and I was really thankful for their help. Trying to think of another. I'll tell you what, if you send me an email, I'll send another example or two of some of the work they did for me. You can find that on the contact page, or it's just Nick at virtualassistantassistant.com. But definitely check out the other reviews of 24/7 and all the other VA companies on virtualassistantassistant.com. And when you're ready to give them a try for yourself, please use the exclusive coupon, which is located right below this embedded video, for 10% off your first month. And that is an affiliate code, so thank you for your support. And that's 24/7 Virtual Assistant. Thanks for watching, and talk to you soon.